Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, January 15th, and we are in the final hour of the trading day. As always, the final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, in the last hour, and in particular the last few minutes, the large financial institutions come in, they take control of the price away from the day traders and algorithms. I consider them smart money, and in my humble opinion, following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day is a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming. I hope everybody had a good week. Just to mention, this coming Monday is going to be Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and so we are going to have a long weekend. No trading, no show this coming Monday, and I hope you enjoy your holiday. So currently, the Dow is down 89.83, down 0.29%. The NASDAQ is down 76.10, that's down 0.58%, and the S&P is down 17 points, down 0.46%. So thank you all for coming today. Always nice to see everyone. Always appreciate you being here, spending the time, investing your time, and I hope by investing your time here, it is helping you with your trading and your investing. So, okay. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I also had some day trades today that I'm going to share with you as well. After that, we're going to go over to the board and we're going to take a look at your positions and we're going to see how they're doing over there. After that, we are going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. Always like to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. The most important skill that you can develop in trading is being able to follow your plan. So if you're not following your plan at the moment, then you've got some work to do on that. And how do you do that? Maybe get family, friends involved, somebody to watch over you, do some meditation, do some deep reflection. But really what it comes down to is you have to stop messing with your plan. And if you can stop messing with your plan for a certain amount of time, then it will become a habit, just like anything else, if you do it over and over and over. And then the thought of you messing with your plan will seem very foreign. So just a couple examples. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I do have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First requirement, I need to have a good confluence or combination of indicators such as MACD, RSI, ATR channels, moving averages, lining up together, and ideally on multiple time frames. That will put you in the best position to have a profitable trade. It will increases your chance dramatically. Second, you need to have a good risk to reward ratio. That is very important. 2 to 1 is my minimum. If I'm willing to risk $100, I want to be able to make 200 or more to the upside to make the trade worth it. And then number 3, always take a few minutes every day. Take a look at your positions, and before you buy a new position, at the end of the day, think to yourself, do I really need this position? Do I really need it? Do I already have similar companies in the same industries? Do I already have them? Am I just multiplying my risk by buying more in the same industry? How much account heat do I have? Do I really need another position? 60% of my account is the most I will ever put at risk. And that's just a rule I learned from Steve Burns. And I think it's a really, really good rule. And then also take into consideration the volatility of the market. As volatility goes up, the amount of shares you buy should go down and vice versa. So I have identified some end of day candidates. As we get closer to the close, I will be going through those with a fine-tooth comb, looking on multiple time frames, looking at risk to reward, looking for confluence of indicators, and I will try to narrow it down to just the very, very best one. And if I find one at the end of the day, I will go ahead and purchase it before the market closes. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed, please let me know. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the day, go ahead, put them in the chat. Put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I will do my best to get to them before the end of the day. And then lastly, if you have any new positions for me, any new entries or exits, if you could please wait until the end of the day before you tell me about them. That way I'm done trading, I'm done teaching, pressure's off, and then we'll spend all the time that we need to get those taken care of. Okay, so that is the plan for today. Hang tight. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back shortly in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's take a look and see who is here today. Quad is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Quad says, good afternoon, Greg and group. Happy Fiscal Responsibility Friday. I like this. Quad has every day is a different kind of day. The other one was Wealth Appreciation Tuesday, or what was it? I can't remember, but that's good. Good to see you, Quad. Kamal is here. Hey, bud. Good chatting with you today. Thank you for the results of your scanner, and really appreciate that and everything that you do for the channel. Steve Burns is here. Hello, Steve. Good to see you. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here. Really mean that. I know everyone else does. And also, by the way, thank you so much for including me on your Friday list today. That's always an honor to be included on that great list. Let's see what Steve has to say. Hello, everyone. Less than an hour away from a 3-day trading weekend. It's going to be good. I could use it. So we have one more hour to go. Let's see if we can get through it. Jatin is here. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Hello, Jatin. Good to see you. Hello, David. Good to see you. Bob is here. Thanks for coming. Dan is here. Always good to see Dan. Good to see Gary M. How you doing, bub? Morgs is here. Hey, Morgs, I'm glad you've been a regular lately. I hope you're learning something and it's helping you. And, give us some feedback on how your trading's going. Morg says, hi, Greg and all. Hello, Morgs. Ramble Ron. Good to see you, Ramble. Always nice to see Ramble. Ramble was one of my first listeners way back in the day, so I appreciate that. Frank is here. Hello, good sir. Nice to see you. Looking forward to a poem if you have one. Steve says, I will be exiting my UGL trade today due to the move back under the GLD 200 SMA. That's right. So Steve bought the UGL based upon the GLD holding over the 200. So if GLD closes under, he will be exiting his UGL. So the GLD was a proxy for UGL. Is that right? Yes, maybe. Johnson says, hello, Greg. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Good to see you as always, Johnson. Great to see you. So, all right, well, let's get started. All right, overnight SPY trade was not so hot, tamale. I did buy the SPY yesterday at the close at 378.46. Closed it this morning at the open at 376.71. So a little less than $2, but a gap down, and that's the risk you take. 2019 overnight SPY trade did great. 2020 actually returned pretty decent amount. This year so far it is down, but we're only 15 days into the year. But I will be buying this again today at the close, and I will be holding it over the long weekend. UAL, Greg, myself, and Yas, we entered United Continental UAL at 43.87 with a nice higher low V2. Took off the next day, went up for us, had a big day up yesterday. Luckily got out of some profit targets. This is always a good example of why I like to take profits, because I did take 2 profit targets or 3 profit targets, I can't remember, yesterday up at these profitable levels. The position is still profitable, but I don't like this big old bar. It's still profitable. Normally in this particular case, I would wait for a break-even trade, but you know, with earnings coming up and the long weekend and this big reversal bar, my inclination is to just completely take UAL off the board, be happy for the profit that I have on this part of the position, and be happy for the profit targets that I took up there. USO down today. One of the few down days it's been. I did buy USO, which is oil, at 30.97. It's 35.42. It is up 12.54% from my entry. I bought it on the monthly bars. Long-term trade on the monthly when I went under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and a V2. So gave me a nice 3 confluence of signals here, and it has worked out really well. Facebook. All right, so I do have a put position in Facebook. I did sell puts yesterday on Facebook down to $180. It's currently $250. So I have about, what is that? $70 in protection. I picked the $180 strike price because of the 50 and the -1 ATR channel on the monthly. On the weekly, that $180 lined up with the 200 right above it and the 250 down below it. So I did get $345 per contract. The delta is 9.4%, a little less because it's up today. So that means there's only about a 9% chance it will go down here. If it does go down here, I'll still be able to keep my $340, $345 per contract, but I will be responsible to buy it here. What I really want to happen is it not to come down here so I can just keep the premium and be done with it. And I've got about 25... let's see, 24, 25, 26, about 26.5% protection. So I feel pretty good with that. I'm also looking at buying Facebook today. We went under 30, over 30, under the -3rd ATR channel, over the -3rd, and under the 200, over the 200. So a lot of confluences of signals there. I am definitely considering buying Facebook. Alibaba. All right, let me show you the day trade first on Alibaba. I was chatting with Kamal when this happened. A lot of sideways motion here. You know, sideways motion leads to trends. I did buy it here on this bar when we took out this fractal. Here's a high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. I got in at 244.76. I sold half my position at 245.13. My stop was a close under the 50 SMA. Then here, I had to get out with a close under. I still made a little money on it because I bought at 244.76, sold half at 245.13, but sold the other half for a loss at 244.57. But the loss was less than the gain. So I'm glad I did that. But more importantly, I'm glad I got out when I was supposed to. Look at this, everybody. Can you imagine? Woo! So that's just a good example there of adhering to your stops. I also sold puts on Alibaba down to $130. It's $242, so I have about $112 in protection. I got $236 per contract. I picked the $130 price on the monthly because it's right down near the -3rd ATR channel. 6 ATR channel on the weekly, and I guess I didn't put up here what the deltas and all that stuff was, but anyway, that one's nicely in the money. I'm really glad. The best trade I made this week was getting out of my Alibaba short back here at break even. that was my high point of my week because it really went up after that. All right, is that it? Let's see. Overnight SPY trade was a loser. UAL is a winning trade, but I am getting out of it today. USO's down. Facebook sold puts. Alibaba, I showed you. Okay, Apple. I did have some trades on Apple today. Here we go. I like this setup here earlier in the morning. We had a nice V1 right here, and we had a false breakout from the downside here. The V1 closed back up into the value zone. I bought at 128.07. A couple bars later, had a big move up. I sold half, 128.73. We had another huge bar up. I took advantage of that, sold half of a half at 129.29. Then we had a close below the previous day's low. So I got in at 128.07. I got it out at 128.73, out at 129.04, out at 129.29, and I said those twice. 128.07, 128.73, 129.29, and 129.04. So pretty good trade there, right? Okay, so let's get rid of that. And while we're here, Jackson is in Apple from 123, and Frank is in Apple way down here at 111. So it is down today, but both Jackson and Frank are nicely in the money. Okay, VIX. Let me show you the day trade first on VIX. All right. I bought VIX here on this V1. It was up strong, then it came all the way back down. I decided to give it a shot with the rejection of the 50 and the V1. I got in at 1683. Next bar went up strong. I sold half at 1691. Then it kind of floundered around, and then I got out of the other half at break even. So that was a positive trade as well. So grateful for that. And then I also had a swing trade on VIX, and it looks like Yas, Quad, Pat, Gary, and myself, we did buy VIX yesterday at the close, 1667 with this nice V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, rejection of the previous low, went screaming up earlier in the day. I hit a profit target at 1709 and 1749. Again, just a good example of why I like to take profit targets. It did reject the 50 RSI today. So per my rules, I will sell half of what I have remaining. Remember, I took profits here and here, so that reduced my full position size, but whatever I have left now, I will sell half because it has rejected the 50 RSI. And that's a warning sign, and so I want to take that off. Dan says 3% day trade on Monster. Wow. I exited after rejection of the third ATR channel in 5 minutes. Thank you, Greg, for your teaching helped me. Oh, so glad to hear that. 92% of prices fail at the third ATR channel. So that's kind of where you want to be getting out. Pat is here. Hello, Pat. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Really enjoyed our lessons together. Mark says, really been learning a lot from you in the group since I joined and has shown in my trading results so far. Thanks, Greg, and all. It's great. It's fantastic. Steve says, great long-term trade on USO, Greg. Thank you very much. It's a great trade. And, you know, as Steve knows, everyone knows, I like to trade different time frames. But, you know, listen, when you position size on the monthly, the number is so great that the amount of shares you buy, not a lot, right? Not a lot. Yes, it is 13% or whatever return, but because I position size based upon the 2 ATR, the ATR on the monthly is huge. So you don't buy a lot of shares. So, you know, percentage wise, it's great. Nothing huge to write home about as far as big profits. Per percentage is really good. But if it went against you, you would also be glad you had fewer shares. So I hope that makes sense. Ramble says, got a promotion at work, and I don't know if I can make it to the live stream that much, or maybe a lot more. If I can make the live stream that much anymore. Oh man, yeah, if you got a promotion, maybe you have, you tell everybody what to do and you can do what you want to do, right? Ramble. Jackson said, I sold 50% of Fiverr and 50% at Tesla. Excellent. Please tell me at the end, Jatin. Frank has a poem for us. take a look at the poem before we get to... Frank's having a good day on Verizon today. I've been noticing that. All right, give me 1 sec, please. All right, just need to take care of a little biz over there. Okie dokie. Yep, that all looks good. That all looks good. Okay, let's take a look at Frank's poem. A trader can be right and still be wrong. Boy, is that the truth. A trader can be right and still be wrong. So much is in the timing, just like a song. Follow your plans. They'll keep you strong as they take you to the place where your trading belongs. How good is that? A trader can be right and still wrong. It's so true. So much is in the timing, just like a song. Follow your plans. They'll keep you strong as they take you to the place where your trading belongs. Your trading belongs where your plan is. Man, let's give it up for Frank, should we? I mean, let's do it. That is such a great poem. Unreal. Thank you, Frank. What a great poem to go out at the end of the week. Morg says, I've also read all Steve's ebooks, and it's been really cool to see Steve do exactly what he talks about in his books. That's 100%. You know, I wrote the foreword to one of Steve's books, Moving Averages 101 second edition. And I said that in my foreword. I said, not only does, I said, Steve practices what he teaches. He doesn't just preach, but he also practices what he preaches. And, you know, we're able to see that 100% in this chat. So I'm very grateful for that. Great. Everyone should read Steve's books. 100%. Kamal says, good one, Frank. Frank's the master. No doubt about it. No doubt about that for sure. All right, let's go over to your positions now. Okay, darn. So Kamal bought Match Group at 149 even. Unfortunately, he got stopped out at 146.76 before it had the big reversal. But congratulations, Kamal, on taking your trade, having a plan, knowing where your stop was, and getting out when your stop hit. That is your superpower, buddy, being able to adhere to your stops. And yes, this is going to happen all the time. You're going to buy something, it's going to hit your stop, you're going to get out like you're supposed to, and then it will take off. And you'll go, why I should be doing that? I should have not had the stop. But trust me, there's going to be a time and a place where you needed that stop, and you're glad that you had that stop. All right, Verizon. Frank bought a half a position on Verizon yesterday. Nice V1, rejection of the 200-day. He bought it at 57.06. It's 57.48, up 0.77% today. Very nice, Frank. Fantastic. Frank also bought the Qs at 284.60. It's 312.64. It is down 0.5% today, but Frank is still nicely in the money. IRSG. Kamal had a great trade on IRSG on the 12th at 789.83. It went roaring up for him. Yesterday came back down, and Kamal got out at break even. Sign of a mature trader to have a huge gain and then getting out at break even. And it was probably no fun for him to get out at break even, but look, now it's $7 below that. So you think he's glad now? He is glad. So good trade, bud. Twitter. Kamal bought Twitter intraday. Do I have this one right? I have Kamal intraday. Did I mess up on this? Kamal, I don't have my lines. I don't know if this was from yesterday. I think it was from yesterday. Maybe you could let me know, because I don't think you have Twitter anymore. Tesla. Jatin is in Tesla. from 639.90. Beautiful day up, or beautiful move up. It is down 2.42% today. Close below the previous day's low, close below the 5 EMA, close below the negative third ATR channel. This close to me means a lot more than this close below the previous day's low. It's a lower high. It's lost the third ATR channel. It looks like it's going to lose the 5 EMA. So yeah, that's a little concerning right there. But nice trade there. DKNG, Kamal bought DKNG at 46.20. It's 53.74. He also added some more here around 51.95. Is down 2.2% today. It's well off of its lows, but nice trade on that, Kamal. HYLN, Bob. Bob bought HYLN at 15.77. Had a huge move up. Today it's down 7.53%, but you know you're in a good trade when you're down 7.53% on the day, but you're still up on the trade. So anyway, let me know if there's going to be any changes there. ALGN, this has been a long-term trade for Jatin, like super long-term. All the way back here at 441. He sold part at 521.90, part at 550, and he has, I think, a quarter position left, and it's up 1.93% today. Beyond Meat, Johan had a beautiful trade on Beyond Meat at 120.50. Look at this monster move up. My gosh, how much is this up? This is up at the moment 14.28%. Very nice. Lily, Gary had a fantastic trade on Lily. Return to value with the V1 166.14. Had a huge move up. I think Gary sold half here. He sold half when it moved back down. So he has a quarter left. And I'm not sure about Yas. Yas may have the whole thing. But this trade from entry is up almost 13%. Fastly, Johan and Johnson and Johan bought at 86.80. It's 88.75. It is down 2.6% today, but they are both still up on the trade, looks like. Shopify. All right, here's another intraday trade from Shopify. Kamal bought this at 11.60. It's currently 11.65.44. So this was an intraday trade. It was up higher earlier when I was looking at it, but it is still in the money. So congratulations, Kamal. PLTR. All right, Jatin and David bought PLTR with a 520 crossover at 26.14. It's currently 25.69. Oh yeah, I looked at this earlier and that was nicely up, but it's had a big reversal. So it does look like Jatin, I think, is out of money. I think David bought down here at 24.06, if I'm not mistaken. So I think David is still in the money. I could be wrong on that. TTCF, Johan had a trade 24.78. Moved up nicely, but big reversal bar today. But Johan's still in the money. AMC, huge day for Bob. Look at this. $2.10 he bought AMC. It's $2.38. It's up 9.17% just today. Bob is up 11.76% on this trade. Unreal. Fantastic. Google. All right. So we have Gary has two credit spreads expiring today. This one and this one. They are both going to expire worthless. Therefore, Gary is going to keep all the profit because he was on the other side of that trade and sold it to people who thought it was going to go down. And Gary was right and they were wrong. And he has one more left here expiring the end of this month on the 29th at 16.40. So he has about $85 protection on that one. So nice going. You've had some really good credit spreads lately, Gare. Teladoc Frank bought Teladoc down here at 182. It's 225.19. It is down just a little bit today, but Frank is nicely up on the trade. PSNL Johnson, what a trade, man. Look at this V. Boom, boom. Bought at $35. It's $44.84. It's up 4.16%. Johnson is up 21.82% on this trade. Hello. Gary and Johan bought, and Yasir bought Love, Southwest Airlines, $46.71. Moved up very, very, very nicely for him today, having a big down day, however. Looks like they're still in the money. Hope there was some profits taken along the way. NIO, Yas and Frank. Nice higher low V1 here at 46.10. Beautiful move up, is down 8% today, but looks like still up about 17% on the trade. Wow. UGL. Okay, so this is the one Steve is getting out of because the gold chart lost the 200-day. He was using this as his proxy. So with the gold closing below the 200, that means that Steve is going to be getting out of his UGL. So we'll just go ahead and take that off right here, right now. Facebook we already talked about. Zoom. Johan bought Zoom at $356.90. It's $386.21. Nicely up on the trade and up on the day as well. GOLD. Yas bought GOLD at $23.67. It's currently $23.20. So this is down on the trade. This is going to be following gold. Regular gold. CGC. Frank bought CGC at $31.70. It's currently $33.43. It is down 3.44% today, but he's still up on the trade. We're getting there, everybody. Frank bought INAQ. I think that was over here. INAQ at $15.90. It's $17.35. It is down 1.8% today, but still up on the trade. Fiverr. Jatson bought Fiverr at $2.30. Moved up strongly, big gap, and now a reversal. I know Jatson made some moves with that earlier, so he can tell me about that when the market's closed. And then, Yas, I remember this trade. I was in it. Yas bought this at $115.97, 520 cross. Nice trigger of a fractal. Look at this trade, everybody. Holy hamburgers. Up 27.5%. And then last but not least, FSLR. Yas bought at $90.98. Huge move and swings, but big down day today, but still in the money on the trade. Woo! That was a lot of work. All right. Oh, so Kamal, you're out of... Okay. Twitter is correct. You bought it yesterday. Okay. Sorry, I didn't have a line there. Oh, yeah, I guess at 46.60. Oh, that's right. Your stop's at... I can't remember. You'll tell me. Gary says, thanks, Greg. I really like spreads in a bull market. Nice money with little risk. I am out of love yesterday at 48.10. No more love. No more love for Gary. All right. Well, that was a good move. And you got out of half on a big move up as well. So that's great. Lova says, hello, everybody. I'm late again. That's okay, bud. It's okay. Hey, I got your email, and you are 100% correct. You would not believe what Lova74 did. He noticed that my 200-day moving average was different than his 200-day moving average. And if you've been in this show for a while, you realize that some charts adjust for dividends and some charts do not. Lova did not know that, so he took it upon himself to add up all the closing prices over the last 200 days, and he figured out himself that the difference was the dividend. Oh my gosh. What a bunch of work. Holy smokes. Love is 74. I love you, man. Holy smokes. But yes, that is correct. In TD Ameritrade, there is a setting where you can adjust for dividends, and then your charts and your moving average readings will look the same as mine. Now, if you don't have that setting and you can't change it around, don't sweat it. Just use what you have. But if you want to be on the same readings as me, then you have to adjust for dividends. In my opinion, and from what I've heard and researched, most people go off of the charts and the moving average readings that are adjusted for dividends. If Steve's around, maybe he could chime in on that a little bit. But basically, I think I learned that from Steve. Right. But if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. Just use the moving averages that you have. But if there is the option, I think it would be a good idea to adjust your charts for dividends. Okay. So speaking of Steve Burns, this is the time of the day that I do like to talk about trader psychology. It's my favorite time of the day. I wouldn't say most favorite time of the day, but it's the most important time of the day. I can tell you that for sure, because trader psychology, following your rule, it's a must, everybody. It's a must. And if you are having a problem doing it, you have to find a solution. Get family, friends involved to oversee your trades, to look at your trade results. That'll do it. That will partially do it. I did a saying the other day where, hey, if you keep making mistakes, that's the person you are. If you really want to change making mistakes, then you have to change yourself as a person. Just get in the habit of following your plan. One day at a time, just like in AA or any addiction type of program. It's one day at a time. But if you can sit there and not mess with your trades and let your plan play out for one day, great. That's all I ask. Do it the next day. Do it the next day. After a while, it will become a habit. So that's a long way of segueing into, this is Steve Burns. Always has great posts. He's my favorite poster. Please follow him at @SJosephBurns on Twitter. 4 simple sentences. Let's read them. Number 1, minimize your losing trades. We have to do everything to minimize our losing trades. And how do we do that? What I try to do is I try to have my entry as close to my stop as possible. Therefore, if I'm wrong the smallest amount. And I don't chase things. I look at RSI readings, ATR channels. But risk to reward is hugely important, right? So minimize your losing trades. Maximize your winning trades. Let those profits run. Up to a point, there's certain levels, certain ATR channels, certain readings, certain price action, that may be some danger zones that you might want to take part of your profits off. But as you know, I like to take partial profits off as I go. And the reason I do this is I'm not saying that it back tests better than holding everything. It may not, I don't know. But it works for me, because my challenge in trading is holding on to winning trades. So therefore, if I take off partial positions of my total position, it helps me psychologically to stay in the position, because at the end of the day, you have to have enough big winners to pay for all those little losers. And how are you ever going to have a big winner if you don't let those winners run? So taking partial profits, partial 0.45 ATR profit targets every day, that is what does it for me from a psychology standpoint, that helps me get some of those big winners. Number 3, standardize your position sizing. I 100% agree. If you're going to risk $1,000 maximum loss on any trade, that $1,000 should be $1,000 whether the market's going up and down 2,000 points a day, or whether it's going up 20 to 50 points a day. If you standardize using a 2 ATR the way I do, you are standardizing your position size. Sometimes you may have 10 shares if volatility is high, and you may have 60 shares if volatility is low. But the key is to standardize that loss. Come up with a number in your head that is really a sustainable maximum loss that you can get hit with repeatedly and still be okay. If it's $100, it's $100. By the way, I have a lot of students tell me their maximum loss is it's $1,000. I have found out that is not true. They say it's $1,000, but after a couple hits, they're like, that's too much. So a good rule of thumb, whatever you think in your head you're okay with your maximum loss, take half of that, and that's probably the right number. Optimize your mindset. Well, your mindset is everything when it comes to trading. Every morning when I wake up, I lay there in bed and I try to get my head right about getting quickly out of losses, analyzing things, not being impulsive, waiting for certain levels, reviewing my trades in my head. So you have to optimize your mindset. So minimize your losing trades, maximize your winning trades, standardize your position sizing, and optimize your mindset. Thank you, Steve Burns. Appreciate that, bud. And thank you for everything that you do for this channel. Really, really appreciate that. All right. Let's see how everything is looking here. All right. So I have a market on close order to buy SPY at the close. Did have the loss. UAL almost down to my break-even point. I will be getting rid of UAL today and locking in a bit of a loss, which I'm grateful for. USO, we talked about that. Facebook. We haven't even looked, have we? Alibaba, negative on the day now. It was having a strong day, but Apple. Whoa, down $1.40 now. So it looks like it's at the low of its day. And then, of course, Yas, Quad, Pat, and Gary and I do have VIX. And I have to remind myself, I have to sell half of my VIX position here today at the close. So I'm going to be selling my UAL at the close, and I'm going to be selling half of my VIX at the close as well. Okay. Mark says, what do I think of NIO? It's a pullback, but it would, for me, Morgs, it'd have to get back into the value zone, somewhere between here and here. It'd have to stop going down. It'd have to go sideways, and then I'd look for a V1 or a V2. So it's not there yet. I mean, it could bounce right here with the support of the -1 ATR channel, but for me, I would not be interested till maybe around $52. So another $6 below that. Gary says, I use Thinkorswim and Greg set up my charts. For some reason, they still don't match his. Yeah, we found the setting, but it seems like it's not working. I don't know. Steve says, you have to use a moving average consistently, and the dividend adjustment or not works out in the long run to be an edge either way. So yeah, you can use either. So it's not that big of a deal. Lova says, for possible buys today, VNO because of V2. VNO. I don't see a V2 here on VNO. MACD is positive, yes. Maybe because your charts are different than mine, but this is too high for me to buy up here, actually, and I don't see a V2. Pat says, Disney is on my radar for next week, so no position. Okay, good. We talked about this in our lesson. Let's go to Disney. Okay, well, Disney down day today, lost the -1 ATR channel. If we ever lose the -1 ATR channel, I want to see it rally back into the value zone. Most likely, if you close below the -1 ATR channel and rally into the value zone, it will be short-lived. You'll have a bit of a pullback, but then if you can get a higher low V1, V2, that's when it can trend. So I hope that's what you're thinking, Pat. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, right off the bat, Facebook looks pretty good. We have an under 200, over 200. We have an under the negative third ATR channel, over the negative third ATR channel. We have an under 30, over 30. So Facebook does look pretty good to me today. The question you have to ask yourself here is, what is going to be your stop? When you have a confluence of indicators lining up at the same time, you have to determine ahead of time what your stop is going to be. Is your stop going to be the 200, or is it going to be a close under 30? Because you could close under the 200 and still be above 30. I generally like to pick the closest stop, and the closest stop would be the 200. So this does look very likely for myself that I will be buying Facebook on the daily. On the weekly, one good thing that I could take away from this is it is holding the negative 1 ATR channel on the weekly. Coca-Cola is really getting down there. It's at 31.32. 200 is right below. What I'd like to see is a close under, a rejection of the 200 at the very least, ideally a rejection of the 200, and an under 30, over 30. Let's look over on the weekly. It's holding support at the 50 SMA on the week, which is positive, but on the daily, the trade is not there yet. But you know, I've been watching Coca-Cola when it was here. I'm like, if that thing ever gets down to the 200, I'm going to be buying it, but I need to see a rejection. TSN earlier in the day had a 520 crossover. Kamal did the back test on that, and it did, but it looks like it's untriggering at the moment. So I'm not interested in that. IGV closed below the negative 1 ATR channel, rallied into the value zone. Earlier in the day, there was a V1, but it is untriggered, so nothing going on IVG. Verizon. Okay, so I spent a lot of time looking at Verizon today. One, because Frank has the trade. Here is my only concern. And Frank's already in the trade. He's already in the money, which is good. But Kamal, you know, you and I talked about this the other day when we had our Skype call. Yes, it's a nice rejection of the 200. It also went under 30, over 30. But here is the previous low of the range. See how it tested it as support, tested it as support. Now we've lost that support to the downside. What once becomes support becomes resistance. So now this has come all the way back down. Look exactly where we've stopped. We've stopped at the resistance that's now above at about 57.41. It tried to poke its head above, but it couldn't. It also went above the negative 1 ATR channel, which was good. It went above this low over here. It went above, but now it's underneath. So it ran up into resistance. Now this is different for Frank. Frank has the position. He's in the money, thankfully. But for me to initiate a new position here right now, it doesn't make sense because we've rejected. See, this is kind of a hidden resistance. That's why I'm drawing this line. This was support. Now we bumped up in. Now we lost it. Now it's resistance above us. So looks like I am going to pass on Verizon for that reason. Hope that makes sense. SEGN. Interesting. Seattle Genetics. It's a little bit of a cup and a handle, but it's not a legitimate cup and a handle. For a cup and a handle, you need a high. You need to come up at least 3/4 to that previous high, then have the little handle, and then go up. This does not qualify. Gap here on the V2 did trigger a fractal. I don't know. This one looks a little racy. This one looks a little scary to me. It's okay on the weekly, but all in all, I like Facebook better. MKC, McCormick and Company. Is that the spices? It's okay, but it's a 49.60. It's a V2 and a false breakout to the downside, but it looks like it's a V2, but it already rejected the 50. So if I was in it, I'd be getting out here. So I'm not going to get in something right now. RPM, False breakout to the downside, very close to a V1. It is a V1. I'm going to let this one go because it came from a lower low. GoDaddy. I don't see anything on GoDaddy. Lockheed Martin. So this is a higher low V1 technically. We did close below the -1 ATR channel. We did rally into the value zone. This was a very bearish bearish kangaroo tail. Then today we did trigger a V1. Let's see, the close was 347.44. It's 347.60, which is good. But what I don't like about it, yesterday it rejected the 50 RSI. Today it's 46.12. So I'm going to assume, I don't have to assume, I'll check. Right there about 50. Yeah, MACD is positive. It did get above the resistance it was here. I think I'm going to pass. I'm just not feeling it on that one. Home Depot, big strong day today with the V2. However, it's too high for me to take. I usually don't take normal V1s, V2s over the green line because it's starting to stretch the elastic band that wants to pull you back. Pfizer, I'll tell you what, I have been looking and stalking Pfizer for a long time now. Look at this nice base we're building. A lot of price discovery, equal amount of buyers and sellers. I just need a signal. The signal for me most likely would be a nice thorough rejection of the 200-day and a close back over. Give me a good risk to reward ratio. And so nothing yet on Pfizer. And then Twitter. Twitter's down 1.4% today. So no, I don't think anything. I put Twitter here in case we had closed back over the 100, which would also have given us a nice under 30, over 30 confluence with the 100. But I don't see that quite yet. So Facebook looks like what I'm going to be buying. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just get out of UAL here and close out that trade. And I'm pretty sure my VIX is going to close under the 50 RSI. I don't know. It could be close. I'm going to wait. If it closes over the 50 RSI, I will keep what I have after the profit targets. But if it closes under, I will sell half. Oh boy. My computer's doing that thing. Hold on. Gosh darn it. Sorry. Man, this is happening way too much. All right, let me boot this back up. Okay, I see UNG there, Kamal. Let me just get this back up and going, and then we'll take a look. I know, the untradeable UNG, right? Kamal deemed UNG untradeable, so we put it in the untradeable stock law book. And I don't really disagree. Let's look at UNG. Every time I look at UNG, I'm disappointed in myself because you'll probably hear this today. Look at this double bottom with the bullish divergence, beautiful, and an under 30 over 30. That was the trigger, and I chickened out. Low, red, deep MACD bars. rally, nice green bars. Came back, tested the low, actually even went lower. But when that happens, you need a signal. Well, that was the signal. Under 30, over 30, and if I had any guts, it would have been 17.45% move. So good example of a double bottom with the bullish divergence. So in that case, it was kind of tradable, Kamal. Oh, good. Bob's helping love it out. Good. DXY. DXY. If I put in DXY, I don't get anything. I don't know, maybe you double check that. Love says, thank you, Bob. Frank says, VZ is a pickle, all right. Yep. It's a little tough one. Like I said, I was looking at that a lot today because I knew Frank had the position and I wanted to be able to at least give him some input. But yeah, it's rejected that and that. Steve says, I exited GLD for a 3% loss from entry. Okay, thanks, bud. Steve says, I'm back long Facebook. Okay, I'm glad to know Steve and I are on the same page on that. Relative strength on a weekday, 100%. Too many gaps on UNG, says Kamal. Okay. So we have 3 minutes. Let me get to work here. Okay. So Facebook there. Oh, I have to look at VIX, however. That's a tough one. This could move in the next couple minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and buy Facebook. So I'll be buying Facebook in the overnight SPY trade today. That's about it. All right, I've got a minute. All right, I'm going to sell half of VIX right now, get this out of the way. I guess if it comes back up, I can always buy it back, right? And Facebook, I'm going to be buying Facebook right at the close. It looks like we're closing on the low, so not of Facebook, but the market. Okay. And that's it. That is it for the day. Let's see. I did buy SPY at 375.70. Was my VIX held? Yes. I sold VIX and then I bought Facebook at 251.61. Okay. So, oh, this is, yeah, SPY. 375.70 for the overnight SPYer. Facebook, I bought at 251.61. sold half of my position on VIX, but that was a good trade. 2.64% plus the added benefit of the higher profit target. I am out of UAL. Was profitable. I sold it a little bit before my entry price, but again, the profit targets I took up here made that trade profitable. Have USO, have Facebook. BABA went back positive on the puts. Apple. You know, in an account that I manage, I wrote covered calls on Apple. They expire today. I wrote them at 125 expiring today. Pretty close, 127. So they'll be taken away, right? He'll lose his shares. He got to keep, but that was the plan. But pretty close, right? I did that months ago. And so they will be assigned and his shares taken away because it did close over. And then also on Philip Morris, same deal. 82.50 was the strike price. So they closed under 82.50. So he got to keep all of his premium and they did not take his shares. All right. So listen, if you have any new positions and new entries or exits, please let me know about them now. Just put them in the chat. Just real quick, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private lessons in the evening time. I teach a 15-hour course, five sessions, 3 hours a piece. I teach you everything I've learned, all my strategies, everything I've learned from all my coaches and mentors over the year. It's a really good course. It's involved. It's not super easy. There's a lot of work to it, but as with anything else, if you really want to learn something, you have to put the work in. So I know you'll be a better trader when you get done. I teach you step by step all the different approaches that I use. So if you are interested, please send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do, I'll reply and say, hi, thanks for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is so that I can find out more about you and your trading and your goals. And then also so you can ask me questions about the course. All right. And after the call, you can think about it. And if you want to, and you decide that you want to schedule it, you can just email me back and we'll schedule it. And by the way, I am raising the price on February 16th, which is my birthday. I've had the same price for 2 years. So, if you schedule before February 16th, it will be the original $1,000 for the course. After that, it's going up to $1,750 because I just am running out of time and too many students, so I'm have to increase the price. So I hope you understand that. But if you want to get in with the lower price, we have to do it before February 16th. And then if you like today's podcast, I would certainly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help keep the channel around, helps build the channel. Lets YouTube know there's some valuable content here. So if you did like it, if you found something valuable, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before getting on with your weekend. All right, let's see. Johnson is in Facebook. All right, so we're going to put Facebook up here. All right, so I know we have Steve at 251.69. Okay. Johnson. Half of a half of PSLN. Nope. PSNL, excuse me. PN, PS, and L. Oh, okay. So that means you've got a quarter left. Okay. Dan is in Facebook. Morgs is in Facebook. Pat is in Facebook. Yes is out of NIO. Love. I think I already had you out of that. UAL. PTON. Oh, you're out of PTON. Okay. That was a good trade, though. FSLR. Yeah, it was a big down day. Out of VIX. With profits. Perfecto. Very nice trading, Yas. Yas is out of gold with a loss. Oh, yeah, I forgot the gold. Okay. Jackson is in Facebook. Oh, man. Okay. Congratulations, Ramble Ron, on your promotion, by the way. A lot of volume on PLTR today. Huge amount. Flood of Facebook in the chat. Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very distinct setup. I mean, nice confluence of setup. Doesn't mean it's going to work, right? We have to always be aware of that, but it was a good confluence, and it's a clean trade. Yes, says precious metals are hated nowadays by the big boys. They will set up, hopefully. Dan says, earlier today, tried to day trade my way into silver, but sold with 2-cent gain because it wasn't moving. What did silver do? Ooh, down a lot. Gary is out of half of VIX. And NIO. Okay. All right, so I have Frank in 46.60. Oh, you're selling the puts. You sold them at 50.50, right, Gary? Good. Good for you. Wait a minute. Of selling puts yesterday. Now I'm confused. Where do I put you? Where do I put you in, Gary? Kamal is out of match. Oh yeah, that's right. That was earlier. DKNG at 52. Oh, I think I already took that one off. Yes, I did. And in shop. Okay, well that one's positive. Good. Kamal is out of ISRG. Oh, right. Yeah, at break even, so that's good. Quad says, thumbs up as always. I took Facebook on the under over 30. I sold half of VIX with the rejection of the 50 RSI. Very good. All right, so we're going to put Quad over here on Facebook. And 50-50 sold 1/2. Gary says, happy 3-day weekend. Thank you for all that you do, Greg. Enjoy your hike. You are certainly welcome, Gary. Thank you, buddy. Frank is out of CGC. Okay, with a profit. Very good. Ramble is an SOLY. All right, I've never heard of that one. SOLY at $9. Oh, snap. Nice. Good entry, Ramble. Dan says the like button is calling. Ah, thank you, Dan. That would be great. Thank you for reminding. Morg says, Greg, how important is relative strength for a stock on a down day to you, for example, Facebook? Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's important. As a matter of fact, in Kamal's scanner, he factors that into his scan. His scan looks for stocks that are green on a down day and gives points for that. And also, if something's down on a green day, it takes points away. So I feel like it's fairly important. It shows that it was strong even in the face of the general market being down. I always consider it. Morgs. Frank says, second that, Ramble. Chatham says, congratulations, Ramble. I agree. That's great. 58 on NIO. Okay. Didn't you sell puts at 50-50? I can't remember. Too many things to remember. Okay. And we'll put Gary right there. Jatin says, thanks, Greg, sir, for taking effort and giving some valuable lessons every time. God bless and have a great long weekend. Thank you, Jatin. That's very kind of you. Same to you. Pat says half of the VXX. Yeah, well, following the rules. That's good. You know, if it was a bit of a warning sign. If it goes up, we're still glad we have half. If it goes down, we're glad we sold half. It's a no-lose situation. 50-50 is my favorite of all things in trading. Ramble says, thank you, everyone. Yes says, have a nice 3-day weekend. Thanks, bud. Pat says, thank you, Greg, and all. Everyone enjoy the 3-day weekend. That's going to be good to have a nice little 3-day weekend. All right. Okay. Oh, I've got too many Facebooks going on here. I didn't think I had that many positions, and I don't. Okay. This is correct. Overnight SPY. Long-term oil trade. Facebook was a new trade today. Baba, the puts I sold. And the nice little trade on old Vixie boy. All right. You're welcome, Morgs. All right. Well, I'm going to put on my hiking clothes, go for a little bit of a hike. I'm a little tired today. So I'll do a little hike. Get the blood moving just a little bit. But please go out, try to do something nice for somebody. Just one nice thing per day, per human would be great. One nice thing per day, per animal, that would be doubly as great. And both the human and the animal would appreciate it, and it's going to make you feel good too. So why not just do it? And if we could all do that every day, everyone, man, the world would be a different place. It'd be a better place. So let's remember that. Remember that the market is closed on Monday, so there will be no trading on Monday. There will be no show on Monday. So I hope you have a good weekend. Go have some fun, study up, learn something, get some rest, do some chart study, right? And be good and be safe. All right. So that's it until Tuesday. So enjoy your long weekend, everybody. Thanks for coming. Hope you had a good trading week. This was a really good week for me, so I'm very grateful for that. And always grateful when I have a nice green week. And when I have a red week, I try to learn something from it, right? So, all right. That's it for today. See you on Tuesday, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.